Welcome to the Escarpment. This is my HO model railway build channel and I'm your host Jason. Today's video is going to be just a bit of an update to see out 2022. You see, it was meant to be about the turntable and I've spoken about that in the past where I'm going to actually enhance that to be a fully fledged DCC unit. Now, I'm still waiting on a part or two to come from overseas, so that will probably end up being the next video I do. But in the meantime, this one is about what we got up to over the last couple of weeks. But before we cross over and take you around to show you those few items, first I just want to say a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year if I don't get an opportunity closer to the mark. For those that are traveling, have a safe trip, stay safe. At the end of this video I'll come back and sort of just take you through on some of those items I'm going to be working on over my break over the Christmas period. And I think as a special treat at the end, what I'm going to do is take one of my mini cameras, put it on the train and just show you coming along the rail yard here and crossing and getting to the other side. Let's cross over and see what I've been up to. So first up, I got a bit of an early Christmas present here. Basically, I've got myself a bunch of commercial carpet tiles, which I'll fit out in this train shed. I've got this charcoal colour, as you can see there. They're 500 by 500 tiles. Quite happy with the colour. That should fit in quite nicely with the rest of the room. And I'll start to lay that over the Christmas break, I think, if I get an opportunity. I'm going to start up at this end. I'll work my way down along this wall. I'll start then to come out and across to the other side. I got this from a local Sydney company. I must admit they were a great price. It was something like $49 per box, and each box does 5 meters squared. It's not the thickest carpet tile you can get, but more than enough that I require. Now, one of the other projects that sort of just took me a couple of hours is this workbench here. Now, even with the LED lighting above, the lighting's not too bad, but I thought, no, I need better lighting anyway. And while I've got one of these single magnifying light items down here, it wasn't enough to fill up the whole bench. So what I've done is made a bunch of LED lighting, one single strip across there, made the aluminium beam, or brought that square beam and then bolted it to a couple of brackets up here and then attached it to these drawers. And I used the 24 volt LED lights, and if I can find the switch and just show you the difference. And there you have it. So it gives me a hell of a lot more lighting over that workbench, and it just makes, I guess, working on stuff a hell of a lot easier. And I quite like how that turned out. And you can see down there. And I've just sort of extended it out a little bit because obviously I had some shelves up here with these drawers in it. And I just wanted to make sure I did clear those so it didn't, have any shadows over the working bench area. Now, another project that I did is basically have set up all my computer and now got it onto the telly where I can do all my programming, etc. I did actually had to buy an extension USB cable. Here is where I've got my lock sound programmer. The other thing is my programming track. For those that haven't seen some previous videos, is this last one here. There's a section there where I'll do all my programming, bring it in, and then basically switch down here to either be the main track or the programming track. And then basically I can just work on the telly to do the programming. Double click on that and there you go. That's my lock sound programming software, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff I can do up there. And I guess I did mention in maybe a few videos back now that I may consider in the future doing some live streams. You can see up there I've got the webcam, and I do intend to put a couple of other cameras here and there. So watch that space. I may have some live streams coming up. One of the things I want to do first is just learn a little bit more about that OBS studio stuff, and then we'll see where we go from there. Now, after the last couple of videos and putting in this lift up bridge, one of the issues, I had a bunch of derailments, especially over in this area over here, and I couldn't understand why, but upon closer inspection, what I had the issue with is one of these arms where there's a little metal notch that goes into the, the arm that actions the set of points. One of them has actually snapped off, and unfortunately I tried to do a super glue job, but it just, because it's a curved set of points, it was still catching. So lucky for me, I actually had a spare one of these, so I pulled out the old and put in the new one. So a couple of videos ago, or a few videos ago now, sort of spoke about the control panels and some of the issues I had with it. Now, the issues didn't stop there. So basically, I had them reprinted. They did look a lot better, but what I found was they were starting to have little chips of where the print was on the, I guess, the acrylic sheets. I was really pissed off, to be honest. And anyway, look, I started looking for another company, and I found a company up in Sydney, which at least has all their operations and everything's done here in Australia. You know what? I'll give them a shot. This will be the last time. Otherwise, I'll bloody print my own, or, I'll do something else, because I really, really wasn't happy with that last company and the quality and the issues I went through. But anyway, I'm not going to name companies, but if anyone wants advice on where to go, this new company I found, I tell you what, like chalk and cheese, it's brilliant. And what I end up doing, just to be on the safe side, they've got an option where you can actually take a print, they will reverse it, and then print it on the back of clear Perspex. And that's what this is here at the moment. So the print's actually on the back side. So what that does is, obviously with the clear Perspex, it protects the print. And it sort of gives a little bit of a 3D effect of such. Now, it doesn't look that clear here, but just keep in mind, I've got this plastic sheeting over it. So, it is very nice and fine and crisp print. And what I've done now is started, you can see here, and I've left the plastic on, that's why it doesn't look too neat, but I've started drilling pilot holes. And then obviously I've got to come back and start building out the frames around them. Now, just on the turntable, this should be my next video. I'm just waiting on a part, and I'll take you through that. Some interesting stuff to it, and a couple of things that threw me, but I've sort of worked through those, and I'll have it all documented in the next video anyway. There was one part I forgot to put on film, and there was some stuff here that I've already taken off, but I'll sort of explain that and go through that. But that should be my next video. So I think for now we'll head back to the chair. So those are the few items that I've sort of started or have completed in the last couple of weeks. As mentioned, the carpet, that's going to be a big one. I'll start to do that over the Christmas period, and I'll start up at that end, work my way down along that wall, and then I'll work my way over to this part where the workbench is of the train room. I'll continue doing those pilot holes for the rest of the control panels, and then start to get them drilled out and ready to go. I'll need to design and start building the boxes around them. That will also be one of the priority projects over the time off. And of course, the next video will be about that turntable. So as soon as those parts come in, I'll basically get stuck into that one, and that will be the next video. And hopefully there is still a few bits and pieces to do a second coat of paint on. I want to actually just finish the painting around the layout, just mainly sealing some of the MDF boards, etc. And I've just got a second coat or two to put in underneath this first helix. Now I think what we'll do to finish off this video, I'm just going to run a train, put a camera on the front, and sort of show you coming through the rail yard down here on Port Kembla and across that drop down bridge and getting to the other side. So until then, stay safe, be kind to each other. Bye for now.
Bye.